Good evening, Jets of Time fans. This is ceres.rose. I don't even know how to pronounce my own name. And I am doing comms with Lord Batsy in the room. How are you doing, Batsy?
Hello, I'm doing wonderful tonight. How about yourself?
I'm doing quite well. I'm happy to be talking about these two racers today. And I'm happy to be doing comms with you. You've been in the community for probably a bit. Anyone who was here when I started the Gato Cup, I just assume has been here
Sure.
for ages.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
but
been some time. It's been some time. It's been fun.
yeah, we've got a Jurassic Rhythm race here. We're still in round one, and we're between Jazer and I'm All In. And do you want to give us an introduction into what the Jurassic Rhythm flags look like?
Certainly. This Jurassic Rhythm Cup is a quick 16-person single elimination tournament. We are playing with our standard race flags, kind of also known as the Millennial Pre-flags for our racing league. We will be playing with Boss Rando on. We will be playing with kind of standard difficulty, but we have also added healing item rando and gear rando, so it's just a little more spicy than normal. We've got a little more stuff to shake up.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. That single elimination is rough as someone who has been eliminated, but it just means that I get to talk more and judge our runners from a distance.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
Jazer is a fairly newer player, been putting some good times in recently. I'm
Mhm.
all in. Does I'm all in prefer Nate?
N is just N as far as I know.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I'm all in is also a pretty long time community member. Very very competent racer. I'm always terrified when I race him, but you never know. Jazer has been turning in some good times. They've been practicing a lot. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and if you play well and rando right, I mean, I don't think there's anyone in this tournament who isn't capable of beating anyone else in the tournament in the, you know, given the right
Mhm.
circumstances. So I don't think
Absolutely.
there's any level of veteran I could be where I would be comfortable with anyone.
Yep. All right. Okay, here we go. Looks like got an Ayla and Frog start to the seed.
Yeah, potentially. It's always hard to know what a good set of starting characters in this because it really depends on what we get, especially from our first two techs.
Mm-hmm.
And without having magic unlocked right away, you could have the best character in the game, and if they have three lousy techs, they're not going to do a lot for you. Uh,
Absolutely.
Ayla doesn't have to worry about unlocking magic, but it is going to be a while before you could get to her fourth tech anyway, if that's what you're relying on to win.
Yeah, that can take a minute, and Frog, of course, will have his opening text locked until he visits Specchio. So if you don't get the ones you want in those first three, Frog can be a rough starter. Of course, the Ayla Frog combo does have drop kick, which is just one of the meanest, but in a good way. It's our meanest dual techs in the game. Just smack something with physical damage. So, that's what I'd be thinking with an Ayla Frog start. I'm like, can I drop kick? Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah, as far as physical goes, I can't think of a better partner than Ayla for Frog until you start getting into triple techs. Though I think most of those involve Ayla anyway.
I think that is true. Yeah, all of those really nice physical ones. Like 3D attack, putting Ayla into X strike with an extra axis added, things like that.
And it looks like N is going to start the grind, and Jazer is revealing the clone at this meal stop.
Alrighty. Alrighty, so clone is a go mode item. That'll go to Black Omen go mode. It is not an item that otherwise does anything immediately, so, whether to buy it right away or not would be up to player's choice.
And are we seeing any? Oh, I don't know if maybe we don't get text from that first fight.
If you take that one first, you'll get them both off this fight.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see that in just a sec. Meanwhile, carpenter item. All right, bent sword. All right. That is half of the Masamune sword, and the repaired sword plus frog will take you to Magus's castle go mode. So that's 2 pieces on the deck already.
Yeah, as much as I like an early go mode, if I have just 2 pieces of it early, it always makes me feel a bit nervous. Because what if my opponent finds that one? If if it was Snail Stop and Tools gave us both pieces of the Masamune, I'd be feeling good. But yeah, I mean, knowing how Jets can be, this will end up being Tyranno layer go mode, which we don't have anything for yet.
Yeah, that can always be the case. You get 2 pieces up front, and then it gives you something else, which is, unfortunate. If they're giving you your favorite one up front, you get all excited, but...
Yeah.
Oh.
And I guess speaking of go modes, do you want to tell us a bit about the possible go modes we can get?
Certainly, yeah. So we've got the Magus's Castle Go mode, which we talked about. That requires Frog and a repaired Masamune to open the magic cave. And then you'll go through Magus's Castle, end up in Zeal, go through the Ocean Palace to fight Lavos as your final boss. There's also the Tyranno Lair Go mode, which instead of the castle, takes you through prehistory in order to fight the Black Tyranno. Then you'll also fight Lavos from there. And then, of course, we have the third go mode on the Black Omen, where Queen Zeal will actually be your final boss, that second big form. That requires the Clone and Chrono Trigger and the Pendant to go to the future. So, early in the seed, you can't truly predict how it's going to turn out.
Yeah, I know in our race the other day with Choco and... my god, I keep thinking of Spike's name because that's who I was racing.
Oh gosh, Chotosura was racing...
Was it Mr...
Yeah, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna.
That's right,
yeah.
Okay. But yeah, we had basically like 2 pieces of every go mode until we actually found our go mode.
Well, yes, one of those. All right. Got, I think, Rolo Kick and Cat Attack on Ayla, and I think it might have been Slurp and Slurp Cut on Frog.
Yeah.
Which is not super exciting for Frog. Ayla, that's middling. Cat Attack is mid. It's gonna like get you through the first bit of the game for sure. At least it should take out these Naga-ettes.
Yeah, what we're really hoping that we'll get to see soon is some kind of form of magic. Ideally, I'm not the biggest fan of Frog, but if he has like an early Water 2 or something, I'm probably going to be keeping him for a long time.
Yeah, definitely. We'd love to see some, especially like AoE utility, that would put early checks like Hecarim's Cave on the map.
Yeah, and you really feel how slow it is when you don't have a good form of AoE, when you start trying to do any kind of check that involves fighting, encounters on the way. If you have like an early Magus with Dark Mist or something, you're getting through everything so fast. But if you're having to just bonk everything with a Slurp Cut and Cat Attack, you can get through it, but it doesn't always feel the best.
Yeah, it is not quick. All right, so we do have Magus as the third character in Cathedral, front of Cathedral, whereas N has peaked the Burrow and it's Marl down there. So that means that she is both literally and figuratively the most buried character, because we'd have to reforge the Masamune to recruit her. That means that like she's behind go mode, and so are the quests that she gates, that being Prism Shard and Moonstone, by virtue of being behind the Prism Shard. And so that's definitely something to keep in mind, because there could still be other go modes behind there that you won't see very quickly. Definitely an interesting start here.
And it looks like got some pretty decent loot here. The only one I saw was Silver Stud, but that's good for me. especially knowing that we're going to get that Magus. Meanwhile,
Hmm.
Jazer's grabbing this bromide. I don't know if we're going to go to the back of Cathedral for another character. Theoretically, I don't see anything wrong with this party, an hour plus from now when we're at the end of the seed. But we'll see what
Hmm.
Magus ends up starting with and what we have for our third text for Ayla and Frog.
Yes, yeah, especially that frog one will decide a lot.
Yeah, getting Magus's first tech can be a little bit of a grind. It is
Yeah,
going to be dark matter, which is a problem solver, especially if you get that
perfect.
silver stud.
Hmm.
But it looks like just heal on Frog for the third one, so we may have to do some kind of
Mm,
Deno
okay.
grind to get that dark
So
matter.
yeah, so okay, but at least it's heal. Maybe we wanted like water 2 more, maybe we wanted like leap slash more, but heals like fine. You can support Ayla and Magus with heal for sure.
Yeah, and especially with Ayla getting that triple kick, we have
Yeah.
some decent damage coming out right now. But hopefully, we stocked up on plenty of ethers
Yep.
between that dark matter and that triple kick.
Yeah, absolutely. Jazer, I think, has popped into Denodoro, maybe to take this fight for some extra TP to grind that dark matter out. There are some different fields of thought over whether you should use the Denodoro grind or the Guardia Forest grind as your initial grind. But that said, once you can one-shot these guys, yes, Denodoro's faster, no question. And so this is a great place to come back if you do need to get extra tech points and you can't even use like Desert or Hecarim Cave, or sometimes this is it.
Yeah, I believe don't remember if it's. We're gonna find out. Um, I wanted to say it was 6 of these, and the encounter in front will teach it to you. The encounter in front of Hecarim will teach you Magus's first tech, but it might
Yeah.
require one other fight somewhere along the way.
I think that sounds right. Well, 6 of this one I think would be 48, and then plus 2 is the 50 for his first unlock. So that sounds right.
Yeah, I know. All I know is it ends up working for me a decent amount of
Hmm.
the time.
Yeah, no, I mean, sometimes this is what you've got, so you do it as efficiently as you can. You at
Yeah,
least know your opponent's playing the same seed.
exactly. Yeah. And especially I don't feel bad doing this for dark matter. It might not feel great if you had like a fire 2 or something as a first tech on Magus, but
Mhm.
that dark matter is going to put in work.
That dark matter will do it. If you wanna do sunken desert, the main wisdom is that like yeah they're all weak to water in sunken desert. This is true, but dark matter and also flare actually on Luca will also clear the desert if you need to blow those enemies away for grinding.
Yeah, and interestingly, N is going into the back of Cathedral here for another character.
Hmm.
I don't know if
Yeah.
we just really don't like that frog, but I usually see back of Cathedral done more by newer players. One, the loot is a lot better back there in the
Hmm.
Gato Cup, so we're used to just finding better treasure.
Right, that is true.
But also when you're newer, you feel more inclined to do more, searching for power and making sure you have the best party. So to see the
Mhm.
veteran going for that and the
Yeah.
newer player not is interesting.
Yeah, for sure. No, like this is with in Jazer's case, if we're just sort of going for it, hoping that this party's gonna work out. If this gamble works out, this is a pretty strong party. No worries. I'm sure N is coming back here hoping to find like a Luca that rolled really well. Maybe even a Chrono because like 3D attack and stuff can be quite powerful, but maybe he just doesn't want to count on gambling on this party right now.
Yeah, I'm usually willing to put up with some pretty lousy parties if I have
Mhm.
mages with an early dark matter or something. But what I would most want to see back here if I was in End's position would be like a robo, and then have that open up the desert check, and then have the desert check be
Yeah.
our gate
Mm.
key or something.
Yeah, and absolutely. Like even if that's whether that's like his first or second, inclination going back here, there's a good chance you either get Luca who can usually blow stuff away, you get Robo who will open that check. I don't know if we've seen how the ethers are, but I think the Fritz save is a little more popular with the healing item rando on, because if you had bad ethers, sometimes you really want those mid ethers, even if they're also kind of bad.
Yeah, we've seen some pretty interesting ethers and mid-ethers recently.
Oh man, yeah. Um, God, even the highest ether that I've gotten to practice with this week is like a 9.
Well, actually, the mid-tonics for me have been the real disappointments.
Ooh, yeah, like when those are, less than 150 or something, they get a lot harder to sustain yourself on. Okay, so N is resetting out of that Nisbil 2 in the back of Cathedral because you would need magic damage to take it on. I think we're gonna see. I think that probably he didn't mean to take that fight. Sometimes it will get your third character a tech, but since it's Megas, he needs more TP. So I think we're gonna see N run out of here and then maybe grind, maybe do something else for a little while. We'll find out.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too hard to come back here. It wouldn't feel good to have to come back here. It's fairly quick.
It's honestly like when you have to, it's not that bad. It is really quick after you've done a couple more checks. Like, it's just you don't want to have left it hanging too long if you need what's back there. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And
okay.
I would just assume I've put myself in a bad enough position by doing this at all that I might as well take the advantage from it.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Jazer found just a jerky at Xenon Bridge, so we're just noping out of that and going straight to Hecarim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna ignore that jerky, which would be a turn-in for a good piece of equipment, of usually very good, but still not progress. En's gonna turn in that bromide while he's out here, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah, in my experience, the jerky is either something you couldn't possibly need, or like a prism specs. It's either a nuclear bomb or completely.
Yeah, it's the game breaker or it's complete garbage, and nothing in between.
Yeah, Hecarim is an interesting place. It gives you so many tech points to unlock magic, but you need to have some source of magic damage to get through it. I've done this first fight without magic damage. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, even this one is rough. Maybe the first one if you have single target magic on your way to spread magic, because you can kill the octos with your regular attacks, but the bottle is going to have insane defense unless you hit it with magic.
But, and it heals too,
yeah,
which
it
is
does
something
heal.
That I learned the hard way.
Mm-hmm. So, maybe if you can get your AoE off of that fight, but continuing to go through without the means to damage the enemies at all is quite something.
Yeah, Jazer shouldn't have any issue getting through these. We're not getting... I can't remember if the other two have already gotten their third techs, but none of them are especially game-breaking right now. You could potentially put all the tabs you've gotten onto Ayla if you just want to lock into that triple kick.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, at least the power tabs, that would feel good. Okay, Lightning 2 on Megas, which is good for wiping the encounters in here without having to then waste a bunch of your ethers, since he will cast it for 4 MP.
And right now, as far as checks go, so we have this Hecarim Cave, which probably both of our runners are going to do. It's fairly straightforward and gives good tech points. Other than that, we know that Xenon Bridge is dead, so that leaves Denadero and potentially Desert if Robo isn't back of Cathedral.
Yes, correct. So we are narrowing down which of these checks can be progression. One of them has got to be something that leads to either that gate key or pendant to get us out of these initial time periods.
And if N is really lucky, this will lead to some kind of, hero medal into Toma's Pop into Robo Ribbon situation.
Yeah,
And
you
then it
know.
turns out you just have to go to back Cathedral and get Robo.
Yep. It happens. It happens to the best of us. The rando's gonna rando for sure.
Now, we haven't seen too much with the gear rando, but Denadero it's not the fastest check, but it is appealing with the rock there, because even if you don't have a good triple tech party, the rocks can roll bonuses in this, and some of them can be
Yes.
quite nice.
Yeah, they roll high level equipment bonuses like, shield or barrier or both, or prism specs, or, even if like it's just a power or magic seal, that's not bad either.
And this is not what you want to see if you were planning on killing things with dark matter.
Nope,
Lavos Spawn will counter the whole party if you attack its shell. You can kind of get away with it on the Elder Spawn version because it only targets the person who damaged it.
Yep, single counter on the Elder one.
It shouldn't be too bad getting through this. A little slow but safely.
Yeah, triple kick is doing pretty good damage for this point in the game. It's the big pain is those ethers only doing 9, but hopefully Ayla started with like enough extra MP that we'll be able to get through this without having to cycle through too many.
And if you do your math right, you could always end this with a dark matter, but I have noticed that sometimes it'll still counter and sometimes it won't.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that's like because certain techs just target the, if you've got a full screen tech, how does it determine which of those it targets first? And maybe if you kill the head first, then the shell dies and you can't kill it. But yeah, how the game determines that, I have no idea.
But here we didn't need to think too hard about it because we're already through.
Okay. N did go ahead to check Xenon Bridge there. He doesn't want the jerky either. And so now, yeah, maybe we will go back to Cathedral. Especially, I like that, since he had to pop out of Cathedral, he went and checked that just to make sure that that isn't a thread that he left hanging, which, nope, it's nothing. So now we can go back here with more confidence. All right, and Moonstone off of Hecarim Cave, so
Yeah.
that's pretty dead.
Yeah. Moonstone requires past access, future access, and you also need the Prism Shard, and you need Marl, which means, by the time that you have Marl, you already have Mage's Castle Go mode. There still could be like a gate key or a pendant or something there, but odds are that's not going to be the thread that we're going to follow, and it's certainly not going to help us out now. I don't feel too bad seeing that because I assume that my opponent's probably also going to go there, but it doesn't give us any answers.
For sure.
And I just realized that this is the second race in a row on here where Nisbel was back here. Because in the Choco versus Scruff match, Scruff went back here and ran into Nisbel.
It shouldn't take too many dark matters to take care of this guy. It looks like Jazer might be making a proper go at Denadoro now. At least taking this required fight up at the first ladder.
Yeah, at this point, there's not much more to do other than gambling on maybe finding Robo at Back Cathedral. And this will answer for you if that's required or not.
Yeah, exactly. All right, N is through that Nisbel too, and so we will see who that character is in the castle in just a minute.
Now, I know Phone is in chat and had some pretty good predictions last time for where people would be, so I'm curious where chat is going to guess, but who do you think is going to be back there?
I feel like if I say it, I'll curse the run, but Gosh, with and personally with my luck, it's gonna be Chrono, and because I mentioned it, there won't be any rainbows in the seed. I've already destroyed it. Sorry, guys.
We did find, I think the lava spawn dropped some kind of slasher. I don't know if it was the good one, but
Yeah, but it would be at least the okay one. If this is Chrono, I'd be possibly fine with that for a bit. But we will see. Oh, it's Robo. Okay. So there we go. This is the big split depending on what is on that sunken desert check that I assume N is going to be looking at now that he's got the required character, and whatever Jazer finds on Denadoro. They can both find progress, so we'll see.
yeah, this could be a decent-sized time save if N ends up skipping Hecarim. Not necessarily a game-changing amount, but one that might help more than he realizes.
Mm-hmm. I suppose he would be pretty well off going to Hecarim at this point. He may just choose to do the desert grind instead, but with Team No Magic now, none of those characters are capped, so everyone will enjoy the full benefit of tech points wherever N does choose to go.
Now, with a team like this, is there a particular go mode that you're hoping for?
Oh, goodness. I think with this team, I don't necessarily prefer one go mode over the other too much. I think maybe Lavos would be slightly less annoying, but not too much. But this team has probably more big AoE damage than it does single target. There's no like blaze kick or fire tackle for Robo or Ayla to do a big single target damage, and so Zeal might be a little more annoying, but you can do it, and you can still blast the Mammon machine. That's always nice. So I think you'd be okay either way.
Yeah, and if we end up with an early Beast Toss and we get a lot of Beast Toss vulnerable bosses,
Yep.
a slightly slower final fight isn't going to be too big of a deal.
Yeah, for sure.
And that would definitely make Mage's Castle a lot smoother, because Beast Tossing Magus does a lot.
Yes, he can be Beast Tossed.
And I know that Jazer got a rock up here. It was Silver Rock. I don't think it had a boost, though.
I don't think it did, so that's unfortunate. I guess Spin Strike, Robo, and Ayla and Frog. So we know that Robo's on the table. So it's a thought. Of course, without a bonus, it's less attractive, but we will see.
Yeah, and I have to imagine nobody is too eager to keep... Oh, this is kind of an annoying one to find here.
Yeah. All right. So we have, I think, this is going to end up being a waterless Retinite, which is certainly doable, but without frying Retinite with water. I guess you don't really fry with water, but to lower its defenses, it is a lot harder to hit. It's just more aggressive. I think with triple kick on the table, there's at least a decent possibility it'll get through this, but not what you're hoping for, I think.
Yeah. And meanwhile, slash, no slash either. We've got, I believe is it magic resistance across the table, or is that just to water?
The blanket resistance, or the 0 damage, is just water, and then he does have higher than average magic defense for everything else. The other elements still work all right. If you've got a Luca on your team, you may as well still use Flare. It's not so dire, but he does have that extra defense, and it's obnoxious.
I'm curious how much his counters will end up doing here, because this is a fairly strong spot for scaling.
Yeah, that is true.
And I guess for anyone who isn't familiar with the scaling in this, it's all based on the location. So the spot that Jazer's in, Denadoro, has a certain amount of HP and certain scaling to its stats in,
Mm-hmm.
and where N is Sunken Desert has higher HP and higher stats.
Yep. Tends to be sort of based around a vague notion of the expected level when you would do one of these. All right, N is through that slash. Desert is kind of a like upper mid-tier spot, I would say, because it is it goes with an endgame quest, although it is one of the endgame quests you can unlock pretty early, because I think you can do it as soon as you've talked to the lady in Zeal Kingdom and told her to plant the sapling. So you can do it a little earlier than you could like Prism Shard or Son of Sun.
And I just realized that the magic tabs it looks like +3.
+3, nice.
Yeah. We don't get too many of those, so that's always nice to see.
Yep, all right, we're gonna get different key items here, one after the other.
Now, I think the most interesting would be if we ended up with Pendant and Gate Key,
Oh, that would
and we
be
just
something.
went in completely different directions.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Jazer's got the Thomas Pop. All right, so that does lead to another check. So it's sort of, well, the thread isn't done pulling yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll know in just a second based on what N gets.
There's the pendant. Alrighty.
So the pop could lead to Gate Key, but I have a feeling that it's going to be somewhere in the future.
Yeah, with the pendant on the board, that means those 3 checks are in logic, so we have a lot more space to be looking for these items, and, well, and since Jazer didn't find the other sword piece, it's sort of like game on,
Yeah.
That one didn't pop out either.
Now, Jazer will eventually, if Thomas Pop doesn't give us Gate Key, Jazer will eventually be forced into the Robo Desert Path, so
Yeah,
it's
correct.
not a total loss. I think the best possible case for what Jazer finds in Giant's Claw is either Gate Key or the Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, I would agree with that. For sure, because if it's the Chrono Trigger, it's not progress, but where Jazer would get forced into would be go. So that would be very, very serendipitous.
But I think Gate Key would be a slightly more interesting turn of events, because then we would see some pretty wild divergence.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we're going into Giant's Claw on Jazer's screen on the left. We are going into Guardia Prison on the right.
Now, are we going to see the Fritz save?
The real question.
I mean, we know that Chrono is a 50-50 in the future, because we peep tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true. So, maybe he'll decide it's worth that gamble. I mean, saving Fritz, I think it's like, it might take between 30 and 40 seconds. I don't remember exactly, but depending on whether you can use the items well enough to save that time again, I think that's the real crux of it, because, like, if you don't have a lot of mid-ethers, I mean, it will save you time instead of chucking, like, 3 of the regular ones in a fight.
Definitely. And Jazer has another rock opportunity here, so we'll see if it's something a little cooler than that silver rock.
That's coming right up. Gold Rock Plus. All right, so I think that had the Power Seal effect on it. Frog could wear that to decent effect. It would be better if he had his magic unlocked to get the rest of his techs, but not bad.
And as far as how we unlock magic, did you want to go over that for our viewers?
Sure. Magic is unlocked by opening up the End of Time, and the End of Time is unlocked either by acquiring the Gate Key and going through to prehistory from the Imp's cupboard, or by going to the future and completing Factory, and then you can get into End of Time via Protodome. So, especially with Frog's techs capped, I'm sure the players would be very happy to find a convenient way to get that magic open. And the chat mentioning the collision on the button. Like, all of the buttons, honestly, like that, they are a little notorious. You definitely have to, you kind of have to learn to play by their rules. You are not in charge of the buttons, they are.
Yeah, sometimes I'll walk around buttons just because I think your hitbox is slightly smaller when you're walking, and I just know that there's no way I can, like, you can do the hardest skips in the game and still mess up buttons in this.
Yeah, they have very silly hitboxes.
And it looks like Jazer is not done fighting skeletons.
Apparently not.
So this will be Dark Matter will take care of the top half, and then the bottom half will just be a lot of triple kicking.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But it shouldn't be too bad for this setup, for sure.
Yeah, so far a lot of the bosses we've seen have been more annoying than threatening. But sometimes wasting time is enough of a threat when you're in a race.
Yeah, for certain. Okay, and on N's side, we have recovered our party members. We're going to fight the Guardian, who is a new in this form. One of those bits of the Guardian will probably remain off screen, or I've seen it do that before.
Yeah, we're trying our best to make all these things work. I say we, but I have no
yeah, no, I mean,
no effort into this at all.
It is wonderful that we have this level of boss rando. Pseudo-Arc developer worked pretty hard on it. Our first version of boss rando, you had to shuffle bosses strictly based on how many parts they had in any given location. So that's where the, like, Xenon Bridge of Death comes in, because 50% of the 2-part bosses are the mutants. But then we were able to upgrade it. We got a bunch of the 3-part bosses in Shuffle now, which is just excellent.
Now Son of Sun can be anywhere.
Yeah, Son of Sun. Speaking of 5-part, heck. N has dealt with that, and Jazer's still working on those skeleton legs.
Yeah, the top half is down, just hasn't gone away yet.
Yeah, depending on I think it often depends on, like, the programming of what's originally fought here and whether the parts should disappear at different times.
Now, who do you think we're gonna see? I'm assuming Anne is gonna check that character in the future.
Yeah, I would imagine he would. You know, this party is pretty solid, but we're closer now to magical access. So, you know, I would definitely be hoping it's Luca. Marl is actually in the burrow, so she cannot be in Protodome.
Yeah. We do have a couple of decent chrono weapons. I know Anne hasn't done Hecarim, but we did get one from the... Oh, what's Jazer getting?
Ooh, the gate key! Okay, now okay, this is so interesting. Alright.
Yeah.
Here we go. The gate key will provide much more immediate access to the magic unlock for Jazer than it will for N, who who would have to go through the factory. It wouldn't be much of a thing, but that's still, 5 minutes or whatever. Yeah, so this is really exciting.
Yeah. We
And
really didn't want to see that giant path that Jazer took lead to nothing.
No, I love that paid off. All right, so we're going to see the Protodome character, and Jazer might go ahead and grab the Dactyl Nest character, which is going to be the other of Luca or Chrono. So this is about to get a little more interesting. I love this.
Yeah,
I love it when this happens.
I can tell you sound very excited.
It's Luca in the future. All right.
So N could end up doing Blue Rock Party, although probably not going to, unfortunately.
We could do Team Blue Rock. We could do... Gosh. Yeah, we haven't seen the Blue Rock yet, but there's still a couple places to check. We'll see if... Well, Jazer's got the prehistory access now, so we'll see if they go ahead and are able to check that Laruba Ruins spot. I think N might be swinging for the fences here.
Yeah. And are we gonna check what text that Luca has? Or are we just happy with who we've got?
Maybe we're just happy.
I mean, with those +3 magic tabs, I'd be rooting for Team Firewhirl and one other person.
Absolutely.
But there's nothing wrong with committing to this party.
No, this is absolutely a decent party too.
And Genodome is a fun one. Not a quick check, but you can get a lot of power here, and having the dark matter speeds up some of the most annoying parts of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely has everything he needs to do this as efficiently as you can. He was actually talking to... he and Nate and I were talking after one of the SGL races last fall, and he was talking about how he has this attitude of like, well, Genodome costs this amount of negative time, but like in a sense it also saves you some time, 3 minutes of grinding later on in the seed. Talking, just what he was explaining how he thinks about it, and I mean it's a good point, and is very good, so it's certainly something to think about.
Yeah, for some reason I feel that way about WoW, but I don't feel that way about Genodome. Even though I think theoretically they're probably fairly similar in that regard.
Yeah.
I think I'm just always worried I'm going to mess up the Genodome skip on stream and embarrass myself.
Right. There is the conveyor skip, which I will remind everyone once again, conveyor skip does save you about a minute if you got it on the first try. And if you didn't get it by the second try, you have not saved time, which is to say those who can't do it very well or at all, like you're still okay. You just do it the normal way. You're fine, I promise. That said, it's super impressive, so like if it happens, we're gonna applaud. Thank you, FF for all, for the raid again. Welcome, guys.
Now, with this chrono here, are we going to check hunting grounds?
Oh, I suppose we could. There's certainly like less likelihood that there'll be a rainbow there than in a Gato Cup seed, but it might be worth a peek. I mean, you're here.
We did have an async where it was...
Ooh, there's Tabin suits and Prism helms, which, like, at some point... if I was desperate for status protection, I'd definitely try to remember that, and, oh man, that Tabin suit would be wonderful, but Luca's on the other side of the screen.
Now, I don't know if I missed this, but has Jazer unlocked magic yet?
I don't believe so.
I don't think we're...
Yeah.
We're not missing out on a ton of tech points anyway, but...
Yeah, not too many, for sure.
Now, if this seed wanted to be really funny, uh, all of the Go modes, well, I guess not Mage's Castle Go mode, but all of the Go modes could potentially require you to do both Jazer and N's different paths.
It's true, yeah. We have not found out yet, but they could end up converging again.
Yeah, if the Ruby Knife or the Dreamstone are in the future, and the Chrono Trigger is in the prehistory or on Woe, then, I don't know, you might just be thankful that you find Mage's Castle Go mode.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes it really is the call. You just gotta, like, think about how buried everything else is and how confidently you feel like you can gamble on your remaining checks. And I know I've copped to this. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, I've copped to this on comms before, but, I have in races where, you know, it's Go mode is dragging. We are taking like over an hour to find it, and you know, I get Magus's castle and I'm like, you know what, I'm tired, let's go, because now I can like not think as hard. So, you know, during a live race, the ability to just be done with that part of the game is also very attractive sometimes.
Yeah, and if you end up getting your Mage's Castle Go late, it can be just a pretty straightforward dungeon to get through.
Yeah.
It does feel nice just slaughtering everything in there when you've decided that you're fed up and want the seed to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, the N is going to come down here and open the treasure room, and then yes, if you're quick, you can come back up and get both these doors off the same little electric key thingy. Get the doll. Okay, we got a flea down in Riptide Lair. Oh, not quite. So N has missed that first conveyor skip. It's something like a 6 or 7 or 8 frame window you have to get that. It's very little, so
Yeah.
it is tough, but we do have a great tutorial on it. I think it's on our wiki guides page that Zelfer made a while back. So if you would like to learn that trick, we do have instructions.
And it is tough and it is impressive to do, but thankfully because of the way the movement works in Chrono Trigger, it's not as hard to learn as you might think.
Yeah, it is smoother than it looks. I have trouble with it because my thumb doesn't like to do that whole rotation or something like that, but honestly, doing it without the skip is not the worst. You can still do it pretty efficiently. I mean, you know, in terms of how long Genodome takes, whether you can do the conveyor skip or not isn't necessarily like the worst thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get through the start of Genodome pretty quickly, you can probably get through these other things pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Something that always surprises me about Genodome, the boss scaling is pretty low here.
Yeah, yeah, I've always thought about that, because Mother Brain is the normal boss here, and because she's so annoying, I think she has a low HP value. And part of me wonders if we should, like... This would change the rest of the game somewhat too, but give Protodome a higher value, but give Mother Brain a modifier. So that, like, if she's in Genodome, she does have the same HP she would in Genodome, but that, like, a typical boss would have, like, maybe 5,000 and not 3 or whatever.
And I don't know if we missed, like, a stair on Jazer's side, because everybody's quite low.
I would assume so, but everybody lived, so that's fantastic. That is exactly what you want if you're going to get stared. And that, of course, means that this flea is down below 15% of their hit points, so we like to see that. end screen. So if you hit that button first, you can avoid an extra robot fight, but I haven't actually looked at what they're dropping in here, but this is definitely one of the places where you look for the good stuff on the enemies, so that is certainly an option too.
Yeah, there's lots of good loot here. I feel like usually when I'm doing Genodome, I feel desperate enough that I'm trying to save as much time as possible. Especially now that I'm out of Gato Cup, where the loot is so good. But you can still find, I mean, Alloy Blade. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the like really good spots, most of them are upstairs. I think it's like one of the ones in that room to the right of N as he goes by this little area. Gotta just get the robot stuck somewhere in there. It's actually that part is pretty forgiving, getting the robot stuck. There's a lot of real estate you can use where it'll work. Go up, grab the speed tab, and it should just come to you. Beautiful. All right.
And there is a Mage's Castle Go mode for Jazer.
All right. There's the Bent Hill. Yeah, and so that is Go mode, and that. Now the question is, again, because Magus's Castle is the longest Go mode, whether Jazer feels confident enough in having found this, you know, early enough that you have that extra time. And since we don't know what N's gonna find here in Genodome, that remains to be seen. But okay, here we go to End of Time.
Yeah, if Genodome ends up being clone, that's huge for N, because that gives us the Omen Go mode. Otherwise, it's just, you know, gradually falling further and further behind.
Yep, you just keep going.
Yeah. I will say after all of this, N is not going to be weak. You know,
No.
A fair amount of strength here.
Yeah, that's the thing about Genodome is, like, you will come out ripped. Like, you will slice through the remaining enemies in the game like they are a soft cheese. So that is a super huge benefit.
And I don't know, we've got chat asking the best sword that we've seen for
Oh my
Chrono.
gosh. Yeah,
we may just be switching to Chrono to unlock the magic and see what he gets.
yeah, I would think the best one we've seen is either that slasher or the alloy blade. I forget if there are modifiers, so you know one might be better than the other, but one of those for sure.
That is a confuse on Chrono.
Ooh, so that's nice. Chrono's about to get confused. Or no, he had confuse. So no, that is a great Chrono to start with. Confuse is like the #1 thing you want. Luminaire is not bad. Oh, I'd almost love to see Robo on that team because I just love Supervolt, but
Now, we did end up getting rid of Magus, which I can understand that. If we just brought in Chrono instead of Frog, Chrono and Isla, other than Falcon Hit, don't have any super great dual techs, but I guess we're just relying on Luminaire and running away from fights in Magus Castle.
yeah, no, for sure. Luminaire will wipe stuff for you. If you need to kill a magic only boss with Luminaire, that might get kind of painful, unless you go Mage Chrono, because he takes to those magic tabs very well. But
if I have +3 magic tabs, I hate not giving them to Ayla.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Meanwhile, we've got Terra Mutant. Shouldn't be too much of an issue for a Dark Matter party.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, is it... I know that we can turn in the Masamune to Tabin and get something. Is that a weapon that you get, or is it just random?
It's this... There's one that's a helmet, and I think this one might be the helmet. And then there's a weapon as well. I actually don't remember which is which. But he will give you something for reforging the Masamune. Yeah, the triggers are just whatever makes him give you the tab and equipment in vanilla.
Ooh, and it looks like N got the Dreamstone,
Mm,
which, you know...
okay, well...
That does lead eventually to the fastest go mode with Tyranno Lair, but we're not probably not going to be making a priority to do Denadero into Gatekey.
Yeah, it's gonna, gosh. Depending on what we find here, I'm sure that's gonna color N's next decision quite a bit. Got North Cape Magus, who can be a little bit annoying, but with all those counterattacks. But hopefully this team is just really strong now and can take it.
And as far as Chrono Weapon goes, if this Mage's Castle is like the majority of mine, there will be 5 of the exact same good Chrono Weapon in here.
Yes. I think that's a quirk of Gear Rando, right now at least. That there's a lot of duplicates because we had to erase some, or someone who's more familiar with the hacking could probably explain it better. But it's something like that.
Yeah, those people never seem to be the ones who want to do the commentary.
Yeah, it's true. Instead you get stuck with me, like, trying to sum it up, sort of, you know, like, sliver of understanding.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you have enough knowledge to play the game, and that's the main thing.
Mm-hmm. Got a Chrysicle, which would be, of course, a crisis weapon for Magus. Oh my god, it is the Ruby Knife at Sun Palace. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys.
Now, if we were to go, we're probably going to go Eris Dome. But I guess if Eris Dome doesn't give us Clone, we basically have to go to Denadero next.
Yeah, gosh. Because Gatekey was Giant's Claw, right behind the pop that was on Denadoro, I think. So
yeah,
no, this is this is quite a race. And I mean, I have to say, I haven't seen Jazer race before, but like, Jazer is pretty good. Like, you know, in as much as I like sit here thinking of like, well, maybe they could have done that better, it's all been pretty minor so far. And you know, not to judge because it's much easier being in the recording booth, but like, this player is pretty good. They're one to watch for sure.
Ooh, and that was a Vigil dress.
Yeah, sweet. We love that.
Yeah, so obviously if we get Clone in Eris Dome, and is in good shape, I think honestly the best case is getting nothing here. Like if we got a hero medal and had to do a bit of like side quests hunting, that'd be annoying. Really, he needs to either get his go mode here or be convinced to go straight to Denadero.
Yeah, that's true. Gosh. Yeah, it depends a lot on what this is, I suppose. Because it's like if N, because N is pretty strong now. If he can go do Denadoro and Claw really fast, then I think then he can still catch up. There is definitely time. You know, very competitive on both sides. This is wild.
Yeah. And if N does end up doing Tyranno Go mode, we'll be able to tell at a certain point once they start to converge in Ocean Palace, you know, how close things actually are.
Yeah, for sure.
It would be fun. I don't know. I'm just excited for N to get a different go mode.
But yeah, Drinks Glue saying we see 2 different go modes no matter what, and I think that is correct because that sword piece was behind the gate key, which would send into the Tyranno lair instead. Nova armor +2, a Terra arm that's enhanced. That is a lovely haul for this team.
Yeah, luckily Jazer and N are both getting good loot in here. We did get that Vigil dress for, I think it was a Vigil dress for
Ayla. For Ayla, and then now there's a Nova armor, so that's more status protection. A shout out to the tournament champions.
Yeah, that's the whole reason N went this route.
Yes, clearly. And yes, the top 3 in the fall tournament get their names in the back of our Dome, and we will change it every time we have one. So, you know, participate. You never know how you'll do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, I have all the confidence in Jazer, but I don't think when you're against someone like N, whose name you have to see every time you go into Aristone, I don't I don't think you assume you're gonna go in coming out the victor. So,
Oh, okay.
oh, prism shards.
All right, so there's the Prism Shard, and N has peaked Burrow, so he knows the score. He knows that using that is behind Magus's Castle Go mode.
Yeah. Now, at the very least, we're being funneled into the fastest go mode. So it's not quite so dire, but Jazer is strong enough at this point that we haven't really had a lot of issues in Mage's Castle.
Yeah, no, it's been smooth so far. I mean, that was a mother brain fight, and that can be scary, but it seemed to go fine.
Yeah, I mean, if, Jazer's in a pretty good spot here, so if this could be an upset, which is all the more reason why if you're interested in this, you should not be afraid to join a tournament.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know Spike before my race was talking about how excited they were to lose to me, and I think I even said, like, if you keep saying that, it's gonna make me feel real silly when you beat me.
Right?
And
Like,
it happened.
yep, you know, that's the rando, and people are, you know, maybe slightly better at different aspects of parts of the game, and then you never know whether your seed is gonna, you know, give you the stuff that you're good at or not, so to speak, and there's a lot of wiggle room.
And looks like N is doing Hecarim. I'm not surprised that we would do this over
Yeah.
Denadero, and it's not going to be a huge waste of time, but it is still a waste of time, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's gonna be super quick, but this is not gonna give him what he wants for sure.
And this fight's going to be a little annoying for Jazer, but luckily we have Luminaire.
Yeah, that Luminaire is gonna come in handy. Stun that Nizbel. And I think at least make it so we can use a couple physical attacks.
What I'm really hoping to see is N is going to get to open the sealed chest here. Are we going to get something like a Prism Specs?
Let's see. Full tonic. And a wall ring, which
Okay.
I feel like might actually even be vanilla. But nothing too special, but the sealed chests are capricious. They have a pretty wide range of goodies they can give you. Okay, and of course, doing this much later, and so we're getting like, you know, 1300 triple kick. So another one of those will finish that fight.
Yeah, I think at this point the only way N could lose this fight would be if the game broke.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, that Uzi Punch did it. Jazer is done with that Nizbel boss and buffing up their characters before we go into this next wing of the castle here.
Yeah, Adam in the chat, I have seen people get Prism Specs in that before, so...
Yeah, it's like they have an array of items that ranges from mid to awesome, so you can get the really good stuff. It's just you can also get the like, yeah.
Typically it'll be when you decided not to do it and someone else did.
Yeah, that's when the rainbows show up.
There are a fair amount of sealed chests that N could go for here, but I think we probably have enough power that We're not too worried about that.
Yeah, I think the gear drops have been all right so far.
And probably also frustrated enough by the prism shard and the moonstone drop.
Oh, yeah. Bead on that dark helm that Jazer just picked up. That could be fun. Especially since Frog wasn't wearing a proper helmet anyway.
Oh, there's something I wonder if I still have a clip of it. On that second conveyor there, I got onto it while he was saying welcome.
Ooh.
And my characters were just kind of going down during his cutscene. During his little, like, dialogue.
Alright. First Donkey Kong room. Straightforward. I'm thinking maybe Jazer, this is like the hole that he knows about, you know, has memorized which side the save point's on.
Does it vary depending on which hole you go down?
Yeah, it does. They change by hole, but the holes themselves are consistent.
I thought it was just random every time.
Oh, yeah, it isn't. Although I suppose we could. That would be fun.
Well, as far as I knew, it was randomized. I do know that if you find the save point, the teleport is opposite.
Yeah, that is true. Okay. N still coming up Denadoro. So we know N is going to grab the I'm brain farting. But this is the Thomas Pop, and we know that leads to Gate Key. So it may depend on gosh, whether he decides to do this or go to gosh, does he have anything else?
I don't think
Does he have to follow? Okay, so yeah, I think at this point we're just gonna get into that Tyranno Go mode, and I'm sure it's gonna be quick. This is gonna like get close again. I absolutely believe. Yeah. And yeah, Jazer just did a perfect second Donkey Kong room, you know, the DKC2 room, because DKC2 is a lot meaner than DKC1.
Yeah, you saved so much time in this game just by learning the skips.
Yeah, it's helpful. And if you're one of those people who played over and over as a child, like on New Game Plus, you probably like know most of the skips already, or a bunch of them. I think that's kind of by design. It's like how they make it so you can actually play the game a whole bunch through.
What a beautiful game. I'm so glad we get to play it over and over again.
Right? It's wonderful. Jazer got that Slurp Kiss double tech, which is, you know, it's one of those things that only comes in handy rarely, but when it does come in handy, it is really nice because it's got that status heal on it. Right, N is up here, possibly not for a waterless Red Knight. I haven't been paying that close attention to Magus's techs, but yeah, we've got Ice too.
This should be fairly breezy.
You can use Black Hole on it too, but that will kill the core, so you have to be prudent with that.
Yeah. And even if you don't find the core threatening, I've discovered that it just wastes a lot of time.
Yeah, like it. You may as well do it the intended way. Question from chat. I don't know the exact levels, but N has been through Genodome, and I assume is the one packing more power right now.
Yeah, I don't expect that N is gonna bother with a ton of grinding, especially with this Wild Goose Chase.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Oh, Jazer, it looks like, is 23.
Okay, that's pretty good for here.
And I think we're grabbing these last ones for Jazer, I'm assuming because they're the most lucrative.
Yeah, with 5 or 6 enemies, you can get, 25, 30 tech points.
And I'm not sure if have we gotten our 3D attack yet?
I don't think we've seen it yet. Frog needs to get Leap Slash. I think that might be what we're waiting on. Okay, and there's the pop for N. So further along the road to destiny.
And I will say one nice thing about Jazer's party, even if we don't have a super great weapon on Chrono, if we're relying on that 3D attack, most of the damage is going to be coming from triple kick anyway.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, another good point in chat. Jazer hasn't done any grind good XP dungeons. I'm not sure if Jazer did anything in Desert, which is
No, I
usually
don't think
some early
so.
power.
Yeah. No, just the Hecarim, which is the good TP dungeon, not the good XP dungeon, so to speak. Is working with Chrono, I guess a relatively newer character than what Enna's picked. Well, not really. They picked up Chrono and Robo around the same time, but Chrono needed that magic unlock.
And unfortunately, we have not gotten Charm, so we don't get to charm all of these.
Yes.
They are dropping Rainbow Helms, which is not bad.
Yep. So this Megas fight coming up, depending on how quickly Jazer gets through that is gonna be part of what decides the race for sure, because sometimes you can do it super fast, and sometimes he definitely strings you along for a bit.
Yeah. If we had 3D attack, I'd be a little less worried because you can just kind of ignore the, some of the magic changes, but
Yeah.
we're just a little too far away from those.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, his barriers don't care about physical. You can use your drop kicks, your beast tosses, all of that on Megas, and you will get through it. He still counters, but like he takes the damage, so. Yeah.
And let's see who we've got trying to summon Lavos today.
Yes. I think that's Marl.
I've got a mermaid cap. I feel like with the amount we have decent levels on this party. I think this is more likely to be a time sink than a true, disaster, but mages can do mages things.
Yeah, I think it definitely will depend on some of that stuff, but well, somebody had blue mail, I think, but at this point it's like half and half. I don't remember which side of the screen found what exactly. Well, at least this frog is rocking heal, so we can keep our HP up. And as N comes into the final save point of Giant's Claw.
Yeah, basically been skipping all of the chests in here. I mean, probably not expecting to find anything that's gonna replace the things that he already has.
Yeah. But yeah, we've got barriers over there on Chrono and Ayla, which is definitely a good thought with this fight, especially if you're not packing the power to end phase 2 before the big one goes off.
Yeah, and we don't know how much HP this Marl has.
Yes, correct. This HP gets a randomized HP value. This boss gets randomized HP. Sorry. I always forget, something like 11,000 to 16,000 range, maybe.
Yeah, it's slightly higher max than the than the Tyranno and Tyranno layer.
Yeah. Okay, N is done with that skeleton.
Ooh, we've got water for bubble hit. And gonna find out the good news that he doesn't have to. I did realize that woe through factory was technically an option this whole time.
That's right. That's the other thing that's still on our radar, but
definitely thankful that it's not come to that.
Yep, and I suspect N is gonna like use this gate key immediately. I suspect he's pretty locked into this party. He could go to Specchio and get some magic, but he's definitely been investing in these three.
Yeah. And as chat points out, probably not itching to do that after Gino.
Yeah, probably not.
And we've gotten some pretty decent luck with these barrier changes. Getting to use a couple bubble hits and Luminaire. So it seems like Marl is on Team Jazer today.
Nope. Yeah, I think this might be a little bit of a slower fight because of the damage numbers, but we'll see what happens at the phase change. You know, we've got heal out, we've got barriers on people. If it stays topped off, I think they'll probably at least survive.
I'm wondering if this is... I haven't been keeping track of damage too much, but this seems like a pretty healthy Marl.
Yeah, it's been like, you know, 700 to 1300 per turn, and she may only... maybe she just didn't just counterattack, but no, she's still changing her barrier, so like it does seem that might be a bit of a higher number.
And I think N is checking this rock that Jazer never checked.
Blue Rock Plus, look at that. Oh, well, now there's choices.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Is he gonna think about it? It is Protect All, that's good.
I mean, you gotta go for the Exodia play. Although I don't know if Luca... if Luca already knew Flare, I might be tempted.
I didn't catch a glimpse at that, but maybe she doesn't. Okay, and now we are going into Tyranno Lair while Jazer is in the middle of the Magus fight, and Marlgus is casting a spell, which means that she has switched to her second phase, which won't use barriers, but will throw nukes regularly.
And we've got Ayla saying, who needs weapons? I'm still going to be more useful than this Chrono.
Yep. I think those barriers have worn off, so that is not a good sign with this Hexagon Mist coming up, but we will see. Alright, I mean, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Yeah, we have that mermaid cap on Chrono. I don't know if
Mhm.
Frog takes less damage from water because he's a frog.
He does take a little less damage from water, basically because he's got water. Like the Chrono Cross system of you take less damage from your own color and more from the opposite color is still implemented in Chrono Trigger. I think it's just not like talked about, but it does work the same. So he does take less damage from water.
Yeah, seems like as long as we're keeping topped up, we'll be okay.
Yeah, I think so.
And fun fact, the barrier timer is a real time, and it's not dependent on how fast your battle speed is or anything.
That is true. All right, so we are through that Marlgus fight. So at this point, Jazer is going to get teleported to the Dark Ages, and that puts N roughly 2 bosses behind, but 2 bosses is not really a lot. So we're gonna see here.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be quite interesting, and you know what we were talking about earlier with you mentioned, I don't know whose theory it was about the, you lose time on Genodome, but you gain time
Yeah, that
from
was
not having to grind.
N that was talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Mega or Giga Mutant isn't the best thing to run into, but I think like another Dark Matter will probably do it.
And is Jazer making the patented Enhasa play?
I think Jazer might be making the Enhasa play. Gonna water summons wind, and we're gonna everybody pet Alphador. Okay, does that count as petting the cat? I count it.
I guess it's double validation.
Yeah.
Didn't get the weird glitch where you start moonwalking everywhere, which to
Yeah.
me is the primary reason to do this, and the speed tap here is secondary.
All right, so we're gonna do this new fight, which does have good yields. It'll give N a little more time to be catching up, so we'll see, because like this is quite a race.
Yeah. And I mean, we're already sitting at level 28 for. There are people who will stop grinding in Ocean Palace before 28.
Yeah, absolutely.
I expect we'll even see just fully running past and skipping some of the fights.
Okay, there's that leap slash for drop kick and all of those. I don't remember if we still need like spin cut for Falcon hit, but it's probably doable.
Yeah, we shouldn't be too far from it at this point. We'll definitely want it for the elevator fights. I don't remember if we've seen Frog Squash yet.
Yeah, not that I've seen at least. So we will see. Gosh.
Yeah, those news do give a decent chunk of tech points. We've got a bevy of tech points coming up for the grinds in Ocean Palace, but
Yeah, absolutely.
you're not just doing it for the speed
yeah.
tap.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Haste Helms, lots of good stuff in that shop. My advice for this sell window is just equip everything with everyone with the best you've got. You can even use the shop equip that when you hit down from buy and sell, you can use. And then you can more or less safely like click through all the stuff you want to sell and just mash it.
I was actually just about to say that I learned that from you.
Oh, cool.
Looks like we're confident with just the one haste helm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a slow party by any means.
Yeah, for sure.
I will say I have do maybe slow down on the cell spam when you get to the accessories because
That's true.
I have sold the
I
amulet.
I usually stop at like armor. I watch the armor scroll and then I stop myself there. Because, yeah, you don't want to sell your good accessories. If you're lucky, you have a bunch of stuff you can't sell because there's certain tiers of equipment that cannot be sold to stores. So that can help sometimes. Okay, we got the defense down on this Black Tyranno, and we have a Mega Mutant in the throne room.
Yeah. Probably our favorite mutant to see since you just get to bonk it the normal way. You
Yeah,
don't
it's
have to worry
true.
about magic only.
All right, that Black Tyranno is no more.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how long Jazer grants him here, this could just be a, a grind and Ocean Palace difference of time.
Mm-hmm.
But with hopefully Jazer doesn't do too much. I mean, coming in here to this fight at level 25, you could just take everything on the way, and you'd probably be set.
Yeah, I think you possibly would. The lowest I've gotten away with leaving the grind spot in the Ocean Palace is what I'll call like 25 and a half, or like my lower person was 25, but I had two people at 26. All three at 26 is better, and all three at 25 is asking for it. That's my research.
Yeah. Especially with if you have a slow team, which thankfully
Mm,
neither of our runners really have,
yeah.
that's when you really feel the like level difference.
All right, N has just got a singular goal here, I think, to just go, 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 get that speed tab. Doesn't want the music to get messed up. I appreciate that. I get the tab last because it can mess up the music.
Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna get 3 haste helms on. I just love going fast so much. I would probably spend all my money on haste helms.
If you're feeling behind and you can get those haste helms, that might help you feel less behind. That is sure true.
Yeah, and
I got a lot of money.
yeah, I doubt we're short on things to sell.
Mm-hmm. Tons of treasure here. Lots of money. Okay, 2 haste helms. And Robo's gonna keep rocking that safe helm, which is also a good idea. Couple of full ethers. Always helpful as well.
Let's see if this Jin Vargas drops anything nice.
Hyper ether, mid ether. That's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, especially with these bad ether rolls, the hyper ethers. Nope, you don't have to worry about it. They don't do a number. They just do all.
Now, do you know, since we only have the one haste helm on Jazer's side, do you know which of these 3 gets the highest penalty for using the triple tech?
Oh gosh, it would. With the other 2 in haste helms, it almost certainly would just be the person without the haste helm. I think that would mitigate any of the ATB penalty from multi-techs. Since haste basically just doubles your speed, you would have to get quite the penalty from something.
And N is catching up pretty well. We just have to hope for Jazer's sake that he's confident in the strength that he has and goes through here. And then we have to hope for both of our runners' sake that Lavos doesn't decide to be Lavos.
Speed trav dropped from that Mega Mutant too. That's nice. Mars Luminaire, unfortunately, just short. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, we haven't gotten Frog Squash or Falcon Hit yet, so... Oh, there's that. Now, are we gonna do more grinding or just...
I totally missed the level we were at, but it might have been like 27 or something.
And we're 179 tech points away from Falcon Hit.
Okay, well that's not bad. In fact, you could at this point you could move on and you would get it before the elevator as long as you took all the fights. But he may want it to clear the fights prior to the elevator also, which is reasonable.
Now, looking at these parties here, which of these would you rather bring into the Lavos fight?
Oh my gosh. I think that I would lean N's party because it's a little more versatile. I like being able to have like single target and multi-target damage depending on when I need it. I like being able to use physical or magic if I need to choose that. You know, especially if you're going into Lavos and you want to kill the left bit at some point, it's something you can pay attention to. So I think probably I'd lean more the no magic team, but the other team is certainly still pretty good.
Yeah, I'd be happy with either of them. Jazer... I can't remember if we got Falcon Hit on that one.
I think we'd need one more with 80 tech points per each of these.
Yeah. And chat saying that N is at level 30.
Yeah, N can just like go. So here we are finally converged.
I'm hoping that Jazer's just happy to have that Falcon Hit now. We're ready to move on. So we do still have, before we worry about what we get from Lavos, we do have the double fight coming up.
Ooh, yes, we do.
So I'm gonna throw out double Dalton as the worst case scenario. Although honestly, double Vanilla Golem.
Double? That's painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, double Vanilla Golem would be tricky because, I would say that neither of these players is using a lot of elements that you can, use to confuse the Golem so it doesn't hit you that hard. You can keep it busy, like Frog will have Water 2, Magus will have Ice 2 or Fire 2. It's nicer when you can be using moves that do more damage as well as manipulate their script.
And Jazer with the Power Falcon Hit has pulled ahead, while N is... I'm assuming I think we got a gold earring on the way.
There was one... Jazer definitely picked it up, but yeah, there was one in that chest that's next to the Lightning Scouts in the like main room up there, I think. Yep.
And thankfully Jazer found that, I believe both of our runners ran into the Alloy Blade on the way. So Jazer is finally set with a good weapon because Falcon Hit is, I believe, just based off of spin cut damage.
Yeah, that's possible. I don't remember. I feel like I never get it. I never get to use Falcon Hit.
I'm trying to remember, is Falcon Hit better in vanilla?
It's definitely different. I think that it's stronger in vanilla, but in Jets it hits the whole screen.
I know in my last commentary people were asking for trivia, and I had no trivia, so I don't know if you have any trivia for us today.
Oh my gosh, I can try to think. This is a really easy one, but there is one dual tech that I know of that will wipe this fight without you having to get the Jin separately. Everybody know what that is?
I don't actually know.
Hmm.
Is it Poyozo Dance?
I don't. Poyozo Dance might do it, but that would be a triple. Fire Whirl will kill the Jin as
Oh,
well
you
if you've
said
got
double.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I said double anyway. If I said multi, then Twister and Poyozo Dance do count too.
Now, does Poyozo Dance do the... Do Poyozo Dance and Twister do the defense ignoring properties of Tailspin?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everything that uses it for damage does something like that, or at least most things. I think Poyozo Dance isn't as strong as like Fire Whirl would be, but yeah, man, these scout fights all of them going down on Jazer's screen, and I suspect the same on N's just a second later. This is like wildly close.
Yeah, I wonder how our runners are feeling.
Mm.
Jazer's route was pretty good overall, although it always feels a little bit iffy when you've got Mage's Castle as your go mode.
Mm-hmm.
And it can't be feeling that great about the route, but probably at least feels plenty strong.
Yeah, for sure. I could tell. I think N probably fell behind. I mean, you never want it to go that long past an hour to find go mode, if at all. Like, I think anybody feels behind when that happens, which I mean was both players. And you know, Jazer picked Magus's castle, so like even though you're early, you're going earlier, you know it's going to take longer. I mean, at this point, they gotta know it's close because they're both just approaching the end of Ocean Palace, and they would be in the race room and know that their opponent hasn't finished if they're looking. So, yeah, at this point, I guess you just gotta go because you know you got a chance, right?
Now, are you a race room watcher when you're playing?
I try not to, but I always like end up. But once, okay. I always end up peeking at my race room. Once again, we've mentioned double golems in the twin boss spot, and once again, technically, that has come to pass.
Yeah, this should be... I think maybe I give the edge to... Well, I guess we'll see how strong the 3D attack ends up being.
Yeah.
Obviously, neither runner is gonna suffer too much here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we got that 3D attack, 3748, not too bad.
Yeah.
That is comparable to what the Beast Toss was doing over on end screen.
Yeah. Though this will be the last time we'll get to see Beast Toss.
Yes, it will, because no tossing Lavos, unfortunately. Okay, so it's 3200 off the Beast Toss, so like the 3D attack's a little better.
And I do like how 3D attack generally saves pretty well on the MP.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that N has is gonna be fairly costly. You know, even with a stud, you're looking at Dark Matter, Uzi Punch.
Yeah, they still
Triple
add
kick.
up. All right, and back to the final save point, side by side again. This is really, now it's going to come down to like Lavos management and stuff like that. So here we go. Here we go.
Now, if we want to see more Jets of Time, I think we have to hope that both of our runners wipe, so we get to see Lavos as many times as possible. By the way, you never answered the "Are you a race room looker?" question.
Oh, I was starting to. So I feel like I shouldn't be, but I always peek. So I always end up checking, like, especially like if I feel like I got go mode late, I check. And then, you know, if I like get to the second go mode dungeon, I check, you know, okay, like, well, now I'm only an Ocean Palace behind, so I feel better, you know, like, I always keep checking to tell myself, like, I can't be losing that badly, right?
Yeah, I usually will look when I know I'm like one or two hits away.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Otherwise, I just like I don't know. I prefer not to know what's going on.
Yeah, all right. Into that Lavos 1 fight for Jazer, and Anne is on the way.
Lavos 1 has a pretty straightforward pattern. It's a bunch of AoE damage, AoE obstacle, a bunch of AoE damage, and then repeat.
Mm-hmm.
And do we have? So I guess we have an amulet and the vigil dress.
Yeah, I think Jazer at least, maybe both of them. They both went to Aristome. No, maybe not. No, N went to Aristome for that Nova armor. I may be completely mixing up where it is. There definitely was a like a Nova armor out there too. Yeah, I think me. Yeah, let's see.
Did Chet pointed out? I may not have noticed this. Did Jazer
Mhm.
not even bother going back to the save point before? Because
I
I
thought that he did, but maybe I missed it.
I remember using. I remember being proud of his shelter management because he
Mhm.
used his second to last one.
Yeah, you gotta love that. All right, Jays are going into Lavos 2. N is pummeling Lavos 1, so this is probably gonna be over soon.
Now, do you want to give us the rundown on how Lavos 2 works, since I took the far simpler Lavos 1?
Ah, certainly. So Lavos 2 has a couple of different phases. This first phase, he opens by opening his chest or whatever to laser you, and then that is going to be quickly followed up by some nasty blades tossed from these arms. And so in the first part of the fight, you are aiming to get rid of those arms. And once the arms are gone, or if you've taken too long, the center of Lavos 2 will wake up, drop its defense, and then it's basically a race to damage the center with about 10,000 before it hits you with Shadow Doom Blaze. Although these runners are packing pretty strong parties, so I doubt anyone would wipe to Shadow Doom Blaze as long as they were topped off.
And Jazer survived the two bananas,
Mm-hmm.
which, you know, they did a lot less damage than I was expecting them to do.
Yeah, he does have. This is like, I guess, a fairly good party defense wise. Like Luca, Marl, and Magus are the really squishy mages, and the others are at least a little more solid, I think. All right, there goes arm 2.
We did lose the defense on Chrono, but
Yes.
as long as everyone else is protected, this should be.
Mm-hmm. Just that obstacle didn't do anything, so that's what you want to see. Obstacle can miss you.
Is it possible it's slow because we have that haste on?
It could be, yeah. Okay. Okay. And has blown up the first arm. Jazer 3D attacking the middle there.
Yeah, not even trying to weave anything else in. We did get that Luminaire earlier to make sure that arm went down.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and there it goes.
No. We'll see if he gets the menu skip, but the party wasn't in dire straits, so it might not even
Mm-hmm.
be that necessary.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. N is over here piling the damage on the middle and like, trying to keep looking back and forth.
And Jazer is about to enter into what I think is the scariest part of any
Mm,
Lavos fight, which is the first 5 seconds.
absolutely. All right, so we don't have a menu there, but as you said, the characters are doing all right. A little low on MP, but not HP, which is a little more important right now. And we're just gonna smack that center for 3,800 something.
And I believe it's 2 and some change to kill the middle, and then it'll be about 5.5 3D attacks to kill right.
Yeah. Now I think that if Jazer wants, one of my favorite things to do is just a multi-bit strat. Okay, N is through part 2, where you kill the middle your first round, and then right when active life goes off, you use your physical stuff on the left bit to take it away, and then you can freely hit the whole screen. You can be hitting the center bit and the right bit to do damage while you get the center bit down so it doesn't, murder you.
And we're getting MP up on everybody. The boss tried to do a bit of piling onto Ayla. I think that we had that hidden blow and then that bonk onto her, but she's too defensive. And Jazer is in a great spot here.
Yeah. This is so close.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the defense off. So N is a little behind. N is probably going to hit right bit harder, but again, is a little behind, so this is going to be wild.
And it's 3D attacks not a super slow animation.
No, it's quite fast, yeah.
And even though triple kick, Uzi punch, and black hole, none of them are that slow, but it does add up.
Yeah, it does. All right, we got some left bit strats coming out on N's side.
And very wise to have Chrono using those healing items because he's got that haste helm.
Yeah.
Jazer hasn't been playing this for that long, but Jazer has pretty good experience with randomizers. So I'm not surprised that, not even having done the Gato Cup, we're potentially staring down on.
This play is very clean. This has been a really clean run for Jazer. Okay.
Oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Spell coming out on N's side. Hopefully that can be... Yeah, it doesn't look like it did anything.
Wow, GG,
oh,
Jazer.
GG's, Jazer. Oh my goodness. This is so close. Oh my gosh. Wow. I mean, what a fantastic showing. I've never seen Jazer run before, so this was a treat. I had no idea how this race was gonna go. It's been amazing.
Yeah, this is apparently, according to Possum Morpheus in chat, Jazer said, "I just want to lose by less than 20 minutes." Well, unfortunately, Jazer, you did not lose by less than 20 minutes.
Yes, that was I remember that being mentioned earlier, and I was thinking, "There's no way this is going to be 20 minutes." Oh my goodness, yeah, and
Jazer, GG.
Done in a minute. Yeah, GG, welcome.
If you're talking, we can't hear you, but maybe you're just speechless.
Wow, that was quite a race. That was something, and I think we love a good race that shows us that there is the time to take Magus's castle. Like, it is a tough decision, but sometimes that's what you do.
I mean, we had 2 cats. We had triple tech being used. What more could you ask for?
All right, GG to N. Both runners coming in below 150. I think they were both maybe in the 140s both times. But amazing job, both runners.
And hopefully Jazer is at least getting to hear us sing his praises.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm sure that Jazer can always watch this back. Worst case scenario. No, that was a fantastic race. I mean, between we see Jazer, this new member to the community, doing amazingly and also amazing showing. N's name is at the top of our Dome for a reason. This was a fantastic race.
And someday Jazer will get to tell us about it.
Yes, we believe. Oh man, what a match, you guys.
Yeah. I have to say I'm so grateful that and we got N in here.
Yeah, welcome, GG.
Thanks.
Oh man, that was wild. That was a wild ride, you guys.
So,
Yeah.
what was the story? I wish I would have gotten the conveyor skip because I
Uh,
didn't know if that I didn't want that to make a difference, but it might have.
So very early on, you guys kind of split, and I guess it was you that had pendant, and Jazer that had gate key, and that like determined your destinies. But Jazer actually ended up going Magus's castle because the second piece of the sword was down in Reptite Lair.
Aha.
Mm-hmm. But that was, oh my gosh.
I was thinking for the longest time, it's like, what is Marl locking in the burrow? And so I just didn't know where that would be or where her path would lead. And I thought there would be something on Woe that would, so Woe probably had to have something that would lead to Omen then.
Yeah, gosh.
Saw the chrono trigger.
Yeah, we never saw it, so I guess it was either on Woe or behind the Prism Shard somewhere. We didn't see the hero medal either, I think, so something was in there, probably.
And we didn't see the ribbon, the Robo ribbon. So
yeah.
There was probably a lot of fetch questing at the end if you ended up grabbing Marl. But that was, there were a lot of twists and turns in that because we saw you went to Back of Cathedral and got Robo, which got you your pendant. And meanwhile, we were watching Jazer do Denadero leading to Toma's Pop. And we thought, like, this could be really bad if Jazer ends up having to go back to Cathedral for that Robo just for the pendant. But then that path led to Gatekey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pendant was behind Robo and back Cathedral.
Yeah. So for a bit, we were worried that you were going to be on a wild goose chase with that Toma's Pop into like a jerky or something. Well, not into a jerky, but
something like that, yeah. But no, that was a wild ride. Definitely watch this one over. It was so close.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Different go modes is always a, it's hard to measure until you're actually, close to the end.
Yeah, for certain. But no, GG, both of you, and congrats to Jazer, who I think goes on to face Nate next.
And there will be no rematch with me and Nate, but should be a good match coming up.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it for sure. All right. Anything else anyone wants to say about the seed? Please speak freely.
I was a little, one of the reasons I went the Back of the Cathedral was because I just didn't like the starting text of Frog.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
And so then I grinded up Dark Matter.
Same.
And went back to do Cathedral. And that apparently led me on my path.
Yeah, I grinded Dark Matter and then just went straight to Hecker and then went from there.
Yep, truly divided destinies. Yeah, you guys split early on and it was still so close, so that was a fantastic race.
Yeah, and Jazer ended up getting the chrono in at Dactyl Nest, so was rocking a 3D attack for the end.
Oh, nice.
Falcon hit.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Although,
Took a long time
And there
to
was
get
a
that
star
right.
sword somewhere, so it would have been a good chrono.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gosh.
I got a Vedic blade somewhere in Magus's castle.
All right, so that's not too bad.
yeah, I know. It was so fascinating to see because Jazer got into Ocean Palace first, but then had to do a bit of grinding to get either Falcon Head or Frog Squash, something to get through everything. Meanwhile, and I believe you came in at like level 30, just because you did that Geno Dome. So as we were watching an Ocean Palace where the differences were just between like animation times from Dino Tail versus Falcon Head.
Yeah, a lot of times I call Geno and Woe kind of net checks because, even if though they're like 10-minute dungeons, you gain a lot of time on the back end. So, yeah, it was really interesting. Yeah, no grind in Ocean Palace because I just knew I could go straight down.
Yeah, no, for sure. That was great. I actually mentioned you had talked about those net checks during the SGL tournament. So, yeah, we did mention that. And I mean, I think the grinding in Geno helped. I think, it was maybe the couple of dead checks like Prism Shard that made the difference. It was so close.
Darn, I was planning on doing Gato Cup next week for my race with Possum. Now I gotta keep playing Jurassic.
I mean, you of course can play whatever you like, but yeah, all the flag sets are a lot of fun. Let me get a Discord link. If anyone in chat wants to hang out with us, we can do that.
And speaking of Gato Cup, we are taking signups for the next Gato Cup, where if you're a newbie, you get to be paired up with a mentor, and you get to learn how to run this fun rando, and you get to race against other upstarts. But if racing isn't necessarily your thing, but you still want to play this, definitely join the Discord and hang out with us, and we'll answer all your questions.
Absolutely. All right. Anyone got anything else to say before we sign off? This has been a great evening.
I think we're gonna have it looks like another match is coming up on Monday night.
Yes.
So,
yes, we do. We have 2 matches Monday. BeautyInDiscovery versus Akuhaish, and I will go against Honeydew. So we will see how that shakes out. I need to practice some more.
I mean, yeah, it's been the upstart upset this tournament so far. So
yeah, I can't get complacent.
Throw in a few conveyor belt skips, just for practice.
I never do it anyway. My thumb locks up. So, but yeah, definitely got to practice those skips. But yeah, thank you once again, everybody, and we will see you next time.
GG's. Good luck in the future.
Yep. Good night,
GG's.
everybody.
good night.